Thanks for hiring one of Bembridge Marine's 6-metre high ribs. They can be picked up from Bembridge, Seaview or Shepherd's Wharf in Cowes. In the bow is a mooring cleat and large sun pad. Under the sun pad is an anchor locker with a 7-kilo anchor and 30 metres of rope and chain. Under the helm seat is ample storage for all your gear and the fire extinguisher. On the console you'll find a Lawrence GPS, engine information gauge, the fuel gauge and a compass. VHF, DSC and the navigation light switch. To turn on the GPS, push and hold the button and wait. After about 30 seconds, the unit will ask you to push enter to agree to terms. On screen you'll see speed over ground and depth in metres. We've set the depth alarm to 1.3 metres in case you get into shallow waters. Press enter on the screen to cancel the alarm. You are the flashing cursor on the screen. The cursor will follow you as you move. You can zoom in and zoom out with the plus and minus buttons and go and find other areas before you leave port by using the up, down and across arrows. The GPS won't find you again unless you push menu return to vessel. If you touch the power button lightly, it will bring up a menu for brightness and contrast. To remove this menu, scroll down on the down arrow to close and push close. To turn the unit off, push and hold the button for 10 seconds and let go. If you want to check out the Lawrence Elite 5 on YouTube for more tutorial. All our high ribs have VHF DSC units. You can scroll up or scroll down on the handset or on the unit to change channels. They also have an emergency DSC button. If you're in dire need of rescue, you can lift the cap and push the button for an immediate response from the emergency services. Please don't do this unless you're in dire need of rescue. You can turn up or turn down the volume on the button and turn it on and turn it off by pushing and holding. If you're based in Seaview, the Yacht Club use P4 as their call channel to come back from the moorings or take you out to the moorings. It's below 0. If the boat you hire has a Lawrence VHF in it, Lawrence use M2 instead of P4. On the engine control lever, there's an up and down button for the engine trim and tilt. For safety, the control unit has a lock lever on the gear shift. You have to squeeze the lever to push it into gear and it locks into neutral every time you come back to neutral. The key goes in with the flat side facing upwards. Kill cord should be put round your leg and clip back to itself. If you fall over, it will come off and stop the engine. The kill switch consists of a simple on-off switch enclosed in a housing. When you fall over, the switch gets turned off, stopping the engine. Simply hang the loop over the switch and click it back up in place. If your skipper falls over the side, taking the kill cord with him, the crew are able to switch the switch back up with their fingers. Once the skipper's recovered, use the key to click the switch down again and hang the loop back over. You must wear your kill cord as much as practically possible. The engine has a multifunction gauge. It gives you lots of information, most of which will be no interest to you. Scroll through by pushing mode. If you find the fuel setting, it shows you fuel used and fuel using as you're going along. If you zero the fuel gauge at the start of your journey by pushing mode and troll together, it'll give you an accurate amount of fuel it's used since you started using the boat. It's a more accurate way of telling how much fuel you used, as the fuel gauge can be a little erratic with the boat pitching and rolling. Under the helm seat, you'll find the fuel filler. There is a key on a string to help you unscrew it. You'll also find an emergency paddle, a funnel, some hand wipes, a small amount of boat cleaner, and the safety kit for the boat. In the safety kit, you'll find a foghorn, some spare fuses, flares, first aid kit, space blanket, torch and batteries, small toolkit, a knife, tide table, spare kill cord, and a chart of the area. Your permitted cruising area is through the Solent from Needles to Bembridge Lifeboat Station. You're allowed to go to any of the waterways in the Solent, but not the south side of the island, it's too exposed. Under the aft seats, you'll find some fenders, some spare lines, a foot pump, and an emergency throwing line. In the aft, you'll find 2 steel cleats and the rubber handles on the tube. In rougher weather, please don't tie to the plastic tube cleats, they may break off. Use the steel cleats instead. The boat has an automatic bilge pump. It's wired to the battery directly with a fuse. You don't need to touch it. You can test it by twisting the switch on the back of it. The engine has a secondary trim switch on the engine cover. There's also a tow line attached to the back for water sports. The boats have third-party water sports insurance cover. When you get on board, please check the condition of the propeller. If you're at all worried, take a photograph of the propeller before you start your journeys.